I think whenever I am in the presence to talk about Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. and the work that he's done, I am inspired of his vision to talk about a beloved community. What does that look like? When you look at your neighbor and they're hurting or they're wanting, how can you lift someone up? How can you create that space to provide those resources? But also, how do you talk about the 6 principles of nonviolence? Violence gets us nowhere. And when Dr. King talks about the 6 principles of nonviolence and how only love can draw out and darkness and hate, that's how I am motivated to do this work. I have to remember that individuals sacrifice their lives, their families, to create what a vision would be for a beloved community. And there are some communities that have created that space. But then how do we move it to create larger? How do we move it to understand that violence serves no purpose other than to cause harm? So when I think about the work that I get to do at the University of Utah with equity, diversity, and inclusion, I think about the sacrifices and what it takes to move a nation forward. My passion is being able to be in a space to have that type of dialogue. Whenever we are looking at demographics, we want to see what are the numbers that represent the community. But we also want to look at the data that says what community is not being represented and how can we do outreach to ensure that individuals who want to expand their educational development and come to the University of Utah or any university, how can we create those resources for that? So being able to identify and using the data and what that looks like and how to implement changes, that's how we do it at the University of Utah. We want to know who's here. We want to know who is leaving. We want to know why they're here. We want to know why they're leaving, but also we want to know, are we representative of the community that we serve? So being a leader in the Black community is very important to me. I take it extremely serious that my words, my deeds, my actions, I am accountable for what I do, what I say, where I go, who I interact with, because we never know who may be watching, who may be listening, who also may need that person to just be represented. I am most proud of the fact that when I engage in conversation, I practice the pause method. What I do when I pause is I am intentionally listening to what is said, but also I'm paying attention to what is not said. And sometimes we are in this community where the unspoken is more powerful than what is being said. So being able to understand what a person is saying behind the scenes, but also understanding the power of listening and the power of pause. We sometimes rush into creating solutions, and sometimes those solutions cause harm, and we have to go back and fix it when we cause harm. I say to young people, know who you are and stand on your convictions. Stand on who you believe who you are, but also help others identify who they are as well. Help the community, uplift the community. There is no competition. There is so much to go around that we sometimes think there is a scarcity, that if you get 20, I can only get 2. No, you can get 20 as well. So know who you are, love who you are, express who you are. Do not deviate from who you are. Grow and develop, and also help your community grow and develop and enhance as well. So, young folks, love yourself. Know who you are. Set your own path. Create the world that you want to live in.